This is a right triangle. To apply the Pythagorean theorem, you need to know the following. Side C is the longest side and is called the hypotenuse. A and B can be either of the two sides that are left, called legs. Finally, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is the formula that you can use to find the hypotenuse of any right triangle. To find the legs, you want to simply rearrange the variables to your needs. Here are some examples. First, set up your equation. Then, solve the squares. After that, add them. Square root both sides. And solve.
Wow, how wonderfully convenient. The triangle on the top is a 30-60-90 triangle. In a 30-60-90 triangle, you need to know the following if you want to find any of the other sides. 30-60-90 represents the angle measures on this triangle. The rules for this triangle are simple. The shortest side of the triangle is x. The hypotenuse is 2x. The longest leg of this triangle is x root 3. If you have any of these sides, you can find any of the others using these rules. 45-45-90 triangles have the following characteristics. It has two 45-degree angles and one 90-degree angle. To find the side lengths, you need to know that both of the legs are equal in length. They are represented by x. The hypotenuse is x root 2. The three terms on the screen are trigonometry terms. Each one has its own rule that helps you in finding a side on a triangle depending on which side length is missing. To use these rules, you need an angle measurement and a side length. In trigonometry, the three sides of a triangle are represented based on the relative location to the angle given. They are called the opposite side, the adjacent side, and the hypotenuse. Sine is represented by the ratio of the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. If we choose the angle on the top, the opposite side would be the one opposite to the chosen angle. The hypotenuse would be the same as always, the longest side. The last side is the adjacent side. With the ratio opposite over hypotenuse, we can solve for the opposite side. Cosine is represented by the ratio of the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. And the tangent is represented by the ratio of the opposite divided by the adjacent. Using these ratios, solving for the length of sides is a trivial matter.
Find the angle measurements of a triangle. Use the inverse of sine, cosine, or tangent, depending on which sides are given. As you can see on your calculator, there's a button that says sine to the power of -1, cosine to the power of -1, and tangent to the power of -1. When you press this button, then put in your fraction that you got from the formula. This will get you your angle measure. Here are some examples. As you can see, the hypotenuse is 5 and the opposite leg is 4. To find the angle measure, first create the equation sine parentheses x equals opposite over the hypotenuse, or 4 over 5. Then on your calculator, press second, then sine, which will give you the inverse of sine. In the parentheses that are given, put in 4 over 5, and you will get the angle measure.